The city pulsed with the rhythm of ambition that morning, glass towers shimmering under the rising sun, the steady hum of engines, and the echo of polished shoes across marble floors. Among the rushing executives, a little girl stood quietly, her pink dress brushing her knees as she clutched a small toy. Her name was Sophie, a gentle 6-year-old with curious eyes. Her mother, Clara, worked as a translator for one of the city's most powerful businessmen, Mr. Ling, a self-made millionaire whose empire stretched across continents. That morning was supposed to be routine. Clara brought Sophie along because their babysitter canceled, promising her daughter it would only take a few minutes. But that ordinary morning would soon turn into a moment that changed their lives forever. Before we go deeper, if you believe that kindness, courage, and small voices can change destinies, take a second to like, share, and subscribe to HOA Chronicles. Your support helps stories like this inspire millions. Sunlight streamed through the glass entrance as Clara adjusted Sophie's cardigan. Nearby, 3 uniformed guards stood beside a sleek black car, ready for Mr. Ling's next event. Everything looked perfect. Too perfect. Sophie's gaze drifted toward the guards, who whispered among themselves. She tilted her head, catching a few words, and froze. Clara had taught her daughter simple phrases in several languages. One of them was Chinese, and in that moment, Sophie understood just enough to go pale. The bomb is under the seat. He won't make it past the bridge. Her tiny fingers tightened around her toy. Her breath caught in her throat. Clara noticed instantly. "Sophie, what's wrong?" she asked softly, but Sophie didn't answer. Her wide eyes were locked on the guards. Then, from across the plaza, Mr. Ling appeared, smiling, shaking hands, walking straight toward the car. And in a trembling voice that cut through the hum of the city, Sophie cried out, "Don't get in the car." The entire plaza froze. Heads turned. The guards stiffened. Panic flickered in their eyes. If this moment already gave you goosebumps, pause for a second and tap subscribe to HOA Chronicles, because what happens next will leave you speechless. Clara's heart raced. She didn't know why her daughter was shouting, but she could feel the terror behind her voice. Mr. Ling stopped mid-step, confusion on his face. Then he noticed Sophie's trembling hand pointing toward the car. Something in her eyes, pure, honest fear, made him stop. "Wait," he ordered. His team rushed forward. One guard insisted everything was fine, but another opened the door. The faint sound of ticking filled the silence. And then, the explosion. A deafening blast tore through the air, fire and smoke bursting from the car. The shockwave shattered glass, alarms blared, and chaos erupted. If Sophie hadn't spoken up, Mr. Ling would have been gone in seconds. If you believe this little girl's courage deserves the world's respect, hit like right now. It helps more people discover stories of real bravery here on HOA Chronicles. Hours later, after the chaos cleared, investigators confirmed the horrifying truth. 2 of the guards were imposters, hired assassins working for a rival company. Inside the quiet police station, Mr. Ling sat across from Clara and Sophie. His immaculate suit was covered in dust, his expression shaken but grateful. "She saved my life," he whispered. Sophie said nothing, just nodded, eyes still red from crying. "No one," he continued softly, "has ever done something like that for me before." The news made headlines across the nation. Millionaire saved by child's warning. But behind the headlines, a new bond quietly formed. Mr. Ling began visiting Clara and Sophie often. He learned about her late husband, her endless working hours, and the small apartment they called home. He realized that Sophie had learned Chinese by listening to her mother translate documents late at night, the very skill that had saved his life. Gratitude soon turned into something deeper, a warmth he hadn't felt in years. For Sophie, Mr. Ling became a father figure. For Clara, he became proof that true kindness still existed, even in a world driven by power. Inspired, Mr. Ling funded a language education program in Sophie's name, giving underprivileged children a chance to learn new languages. "So they can be brave too," he said with a gentle smile. If this story moved you even a little, show your love by subscribing to HOA Chronicles, where real stories of compassion and courage come to life every week. Months later, on a bright morning, The three of them stood together at the same plaza where everything changed. Mr. Ling looked at Sophie and said quietly, "You didn't just save my life. You reminded me how to live it." Sophie smiled, glancing up at her mother, who placed a proud hand on her shoulder. Behind them, the glass towers reflected the sunrise, a symbol of new beginnings born not from wealth, but from love, courage, and second chances. Before we close, tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you were Sophie that morning? Because sometimes, the smallest voices carry the loudest truth. And remember, no matter the language, kindness can save the world. Follow HOA Chronicles for more real, emotional stories that prove it every single day.